Get the upper hand on your competition with SCUF controllers. Use code OGXRAYZ to get 5% off your entire order. Yo guys, what's up? It's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. So today I actually wanted to do just a little bit of a commentary discussing with you guys something that has been a bit of controversy here in the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 community, which has been Zero. So Zero is a new specialist that was added into Black Ops 4 with the beginning of the Operation Absolute Zero event, which is a new DLC event which gives you a ton of free items, including a brand new specialist known as Zero. Now Zero has a lot of abilities and some would say is overpowered to the point where the community wants to see Zero removed completely from the game. Now, I personally am of the opinion that I really don't want her to leave the game. I think that a lot of us, especially during Black Ops 3, were really hyped when we heard that there was going to be a 10th specialist coming, which ended up just being the blackjack dude with like the ability to use other people's specialists. So I think for a long time people were hyped up on the idea of a new specialist. We got one this time around much earlier than anyone anticipated. And it's a pretty interesting specialist. She looks cool, has some pretty cool abilities. Some would say overpowered abilities, but I really don't want to see her gone. And if we see this completely gone, disappeared, then this really looks bad for the future on future DLC for specialists. Like we might maybe see less, or maybe might not see another one for a long time because of this fiasco. So I'm really hoping that Treyarch doesn't take it too far and completely lobotomizes Zero and makes her a useless specialist that nobody wants to use. So with that said, I'm not just going to complain, and I'm also not just going to be a super positive person. I'm actually going to try and give constructive criticism and some feedback on what I think should happen. And then if you guys have any opinions, drop them down in the comment section below. It's, I think, in my opinion, the best way for Treyarch to see what we think. So if you have an idea, comment it down below, guys. Don't be afraid to give me your honest opinion. I mean, if you really would rather see Zero removed, put it in the comments. Or if you have an idea on a nerf that you would want to see, then drop it in the comment section below. So before we talk about my ideas for what needs to be changed and how to nerf Zero, let's talk about what abilities Zero has, and then we'll focus on the root of the problem. So honestly, the biggest thing that everyone is complaining about, probably the reason that people want to see Zero removed, is that Zero is able to completely and utterly take over your score streak. So if you are on the enemy team, she is going to take all of your lethal score streaks, anything you have. If you got a UAV in the air, it's hers. If you got a counter UAV, it's hers. If you have an attack chopper, it's hers. If you have a sentry, it becomes hers. Pretty much anything that you have up in the air becomes hers. And the only thing that she can take, I think, are stuff like the Hellstorm missile, the Lightning Strike. I'm not sure about the AC-130, and the drone squad also does get hacked, but the strike team does not. So there's only a few things she can hack, and those are mostly stuff that are not robotic. So like if you have a strike team, she can't hack that. Or is also like stuff that is super quick for her to control. So like Hellstorm, there's no way she's gonna get it, it's too quick. And the same thing with the Lightning Strike. So everything else I feel like is free game for her and she's able to control. And a lot of people hate that. There's a lot of people who really hate that, because essentially you've got a dude maybe who isn't even that good at the game, who is just literally using Zero so he can sit in a corner, wait for the ability to pop up, and then use it when you call in your big streaks, and then they take over it and it doesn't even go back to you. It's just literally theirs and you get killed by your own thing. So I can honestly see why people are upset. Personally, I have not run into that just yet, but I don't really run like really high streaks, especially because I play a lot of hardcore and I'm going for camo challenges. But if you're just playing the game casually or normal, then you probably have run into that. And so I understand that, and that's the biggest thing that needs to be addressed. But apart from that, Zero is able to use her specialist power to not only take over the streaks, but also take over other specialist equipment. So if you put down a barricade, barbed wire, you know, if you put down like the mesh mine, all of that stuff also becomes hers, which is kind of crazy whenever I see that. It's actually kind of funny whenever I'm using like my little drone dude as profit and it'll get taken over and I end up running away from my own one. So for those, I haven't really seen people complain. Usually I end up like destroying my own barricade whenever it happens, and I find it kind of hilarious. But I understand this high score streaks, any kind of score streak really, people are upset at that, and that's honestly probably the biggest issue, and honestly maybe even the only issue. Now, apart from her ability, she does have her own equipment, which is is a disruptor grenade, which you can use. You can throw it at anything electronic or at someone, and it will disable that stuff. So if you have a barricade, or if they have a barricade, and if they have a sentry, throw it at it, it'll disable it. And the crazy thing is, it actually disables it permanently, so it'll stay there, but it won't do anything. So a sentry gun, gone. Pretty much anything that's on the ground, or even you, if you get hit by it, you can't heal up, and you can also not heal up whenever her specialist ability is activated. But first of all, I want to talk about that, and then we'll jump over to what I think should happen with the score streak hacking and all that stuff, because again, the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like whenever Treyarch nerfs something that the community really hates, they nerf it to the point where they lobotomize, and they make those things useless. Go back to Black Ops 2, the MSMC, the FAMAS, both those guys, or in Black Ops 1, the FAMAS, the AN94, the MSMC, in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I don't remember anything in Black Ops 3 specifically, but anytime they've had to nerf something the community hated, it became useless. It was like total trash. The FAMAS had so much recoil after he got nerfed that it was useless. The MSMC, I feel like that one got nerfed less, but it also essentially after a while became useless and people didn't really like it anymore. Same thing with the PDW. It feels like Treyarch, honestly, out of all the developers, has been the one to respond the most like extreme, and like anytime something is OP, it's like lobotomized and useless after a while, and everyone is like bummed out after. So with Treyarch, I'm scared, because it's like, if they see all these complaints, are they gonna make Zero a useless specialist that, you know, no one's gonna want to use, and then it's gonna be a useless specialist that that is just no one's gonna use, and it's essentially a waste of a DLC, and who knows what that'll do for future specialists. Maybe they're gonna delay those longer. I mean, I don't know, but it feels like this could have a lot of repercussions down the line. So that's why I made this video. But anyways, let's talk about what I would do. One, I would take the ability to hack lethal stuff completely away. If anything, you should not be able to just take someone's score streak that they worked hard for, especially if you have dudes who are just sitting there waiting for the ability and waiting for someone to call in their attack chopper or their, you know, drone squad or whatever. It really is not fair. So I really hope that they end up addressing that. What I would do personally would be to make it so that you cannot hack them. Instead, make it so that they're disabled or blind. I like to use the term blind, not disabled. Just essentially blind. So if, you know, an attack choppers or a sniper's nest comes in, you use your ability, it makes it so that they can't see any of your own teammates. So essentially there's a blackout and they can't see anything. Now it wouldn't be permanently, it would be for maybe like a third of the time, not completely, because if it's like half the time, it feels like it's too punishing to the streaks. And also, I wanted to actually have some kind of oomph. So if you're using your ability, your power, you feel like you're actually helping out your full team. So I would say blind it. So if you have an attack chopper, sentry gun, or whatever, you activate your ability, it won't be able to kill you or spot you for, you know, I don't know how long the time limit is on each, but say the sentry gun is around for, I don't know, a minute, then maybe for like 20 of those seconds, it's not going to be able to detect you and you can go cap a flag or do whatever. So I really hope they do that for lethals. As for non-lethals, this one's I'm kind of split on. So like UAVs, counter UAVs, I feel like you should still be able to hack those to a sense, but not like completely. So I would say like for a UAV, a third of the time also. Maybe for a third of the time it becomes yours, or, you know, maybe you guys prefer it if it's just your UAV doesn't work for, you know, a third of the time or whatever, and then it starts working again. So personally, I would rather see it as a, you know, you get bit by your own streak for that one, for the non-lethal. Maybe like the enemy team's able to use it for a third of the time and then it becomes yours. I feel like that'd be kind of hilarious and fun. But again, that's just my opinion on that side. Everything else I feel is okay. The only thing I would change would be for the disruptor grenade. I really don't like the fact that when you throw it at something, it disables it permanently. There's so many times where I put on a barricade and someone literally just hits it with a grenade and it's useless. And that's like something that I was grinding for and was waiting to come out so that I could place it on B and capture B, and someone literally grabs something and maybe they're using equipment charge and, you know, they throw it on my barricade and it's useless forever. So I would change that, make it so it again disables it for maybe 10 seconds, enough for you to run past a sentry or run past a barbed wire or a barricade or something. Let's make it a temporary, make it disrupt, be a disruption and not so much destruction. I really feel like they should fix that too. So that's what I would be doing, guys. I would first of all remove the ability to hack any lethal items, instead blind them for I don't know, a third of the time, some random amount that isn't too long, or even half the time, so that you're still able to enjoy your high-end score streak if you got it. And if you're 0, you feel like you're helping out your team. Maybe you're able to grab B, you know, because the attack chopper isn't raining hell on you. So let's make it like that, in my opinion. And then obviously the disruptor should not completely disable stuff forever. Like, that's just a pain in the ass. So those are the things that I would do personally. And again, I'm making this video because I don't want Treyarch to just lobotomize 0. I'm excited for future specialists, and I hope that we're able to address those as well and fine-tune them and make them so that they're fun and fair. I think at the end of the day, it should be those 2 words, fun and fair. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like on the video, guys. It's super appreciated, incredibly helpful. And if you are new to the channel, if you want to see even more videos like these, I'm going to have a ton more Call of Duty Black Ops 4 news, info, rumors, leaks, and more coming. So make sure you guys are subscribed and have notifications on so you don't miss a single upload. And if you want to support the channel directly, you guys can do so by checking out my channel memberships. You get access to early content, exclusive videos, and special badges that show up in all of my live streams and the comment sections of all my videos. So check that out only if you are willing and able to. And last but not least, if you want to talk about anything, I was talking about this actually on Twitter. So if you want to talk about anything or see what I'm up to or what I'm thinking, Twitter, best place to talk. Go ahead and give me a follow over there at OGXRAYZ. I'll have a link down in the description below, along with links to my gaming and second channel. You guys have an awesome day. Take care. I'm out. Peace.